Alright, quick update on OGN. So once again, OGN is kind of finding itself to be a contrarian type trade. The whole market is going down really. I mean, the stock market's plummeting, Bitcoin's plummeting, and it's causing basically every single crypto that I cover to have a dump apart from maybe two coins. But nothing is moving. Okay, there's a few coins that are moving, to be fair, but really nothing is moving like OGN is moving right now. So let's talk about what's going on. You can see we pretty much backtested the 618. I mean, there's no way that we really could have known that this was going to bottom down here. I mean, even drawing to the candle wick, it just didn't bottom at any fib. Even if I draw it to here, which is a complete stretch, like I said, it's a real stretch if I draw it from down there, but you can see the candle body closed there at least. So I mean, a little bit weird that it came down here. Nonetheless, we are seeing an increase in volume on the squeeze mom. It was previously heading down, but now we're seeing dark red candles, indicative that the bears are losing control. I would like to see continuation with this. But nonetheless, you know, these EMA ribbons on the daily, they were starting to move down, and now OGN is pumping quite hard. We are moving back into these EMA ribbons, so this is a really good sign. This is going to stop the bearish momentum from carrying the daily EMA ribbons into a bearish trend. So on the daily, looking good, bears are losing control, volumes coming in, but like I said, we really need to see continuation, because the last 3 times we've seen this, you can see right here, huge pump on the day, and we ended up with a massive wick on the top of it, just like we're seeing right now. So which is why I'm saying I'd want to see continuation coming in tomorrow, because like I said, we did this once, big candle up, and then we started to come down. The last time we did this here, big candle up, somewhat decent wick to the upside as well, and then we started to move down. So I'm hoping we're not seeing that same kind of thing where we have 1 day worth of pump and then, you know, we come back into the dumpy phase. So for me, I'd really like to see OGN get continuation, at least past like the 53 to 54 cent region. I really don't think that's too much to ask, to have a daily close and continuation past 54, which is really only a 2% move. I don't think I'm asking for too much, at which point we can start seeing the daily EMA ribbons start to move back to the upside. If we come over to the 4 hourly, these are still bearish. It did fire a short signal a little while ago, but as you can see, 4 hourly squeeze mom, bulls are coming back in control. We have moved above the 4 hourly EMA ribbons. We're even above the long-term moving average. Like I said, I am being slightly cautious because we've done this before. Like I said, there was 3 scenarios where we had these big increases in volume. I believe this was the other one. But yeah, I mean, there was a pump above the EMAs. We came back down. Huge pump above the EMAs, and we came back down. We didn't hold the EMAs as support on both of these occasions. But from what I can see now, I really don't want to say we're holding a support, because I'm looking at this on the 4 hourly candles, and you know, this can change at a moment's notice, but from what I can tell, there's only another hour until the new 4 hourly candle body opens. And previously when we've seen this, we've seen it come right down on the 4 hourly and completely slip through it. So if we see continuation up to 54 within, you know, the next hour, the next couple of hours, the next 4 hourly candles really, then, you know, this would be a confirmed bounce on the EMAs in my opinion. And then, you know, you can start to see the 4 hourly EMAs start to head up. If we look at the hourly, bulls are losing momentum, but the hourly EMA ribbons have fired to the upside. And if we do flip these, you know, if we keep on pushing for this region on the hourly, it's 53. On the 4 hourly, it's 54. So, I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why 53 and 54 needs to be pushed above. But we could just be resetting this bullish momentum. We've done it, you know, multiple times before. We've done it here, reset the bullish momentum and start to push up again. Here, you can see we reset the bullish momentum and then start to push back up again. So I'm hoping we're seeing that same thing. Which is why I'm saying I'd like to see continuation past 54 cent. Now, when I do say the OGN is setting itself up for a contrarian trade, I would just like to highlight this does have the exact same chart as Bitcoin. But what I mean by, you know, when it's a contrarian trade, a lot of the time when Bitcoin has fake outs to the downside, OGN decides to pump and then Bitcoin reverses. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin follows OGN. I am absolutely not saying that Bitcoin would even follow OGN in the slightest. OGN follows Bitcoin, but sometimes when Bitcoin has these fake outs, OGN likes to have a big move to the upside, And then I think if we see continuation where Bitcoin continues to pump, up in the next few days. Obviously, we're having a little bit of a dump today. I would like to highlight, though, coming over to the 4 hourlies, this is still a higher low from this low, and this low. So the trajectory is still to the upside. The bulls are taking back control. But if Bitcoin starts slipping below 59,000, then I do not believe OGN would, set up for a long-term contrarian trade. I think it would follow Bitcoin, which is really why, in my opinion, we need to hold this 618 Fibonacci. We previously slid below it temporarily, so worst case scenario, we come back to the 618 Fibonacci, and then we could potentially be setting up for like a W pattern where we W out. So worst case scenario, in my opinion, 47 needs to hold, approximately 47 cent. But like I said, what I really want to see is on the lower time frames, 53 and 54 cent to be pushed above. And like I said, we're at 53 cent now. I really don't think I'm asking for too much to say I want to push above 54 cent. I'm not saying we need to go up in a straight line. I would simply like to see 54 get flipped, and then maybe some some chop pattern around 54 before continuation in the next couple of days or so. That is really all I see for OGN. We're still looking good. We've held the 618 volumes coming in, but like I said, continuation is the #1 thing you should take away from this video, because we've had these pumps in volume before, and they were one-day short-lived things before we did plummet to the downside. Do I think we're going to do that this time round? Not necessarily. I don't actually think that we are going to do that. I think we have bottomed at the 618 region. Nonetheless, for me to have that confirmation, I'd like to see this push back above 54 cent. That's all I see for OGN. Really, we want to see Bitcoin start to turn up as well, because like I said, if Bitcoin plummets below 39,000, I don't think OGN will hold the 618, and potentially we could see a nasty flush out in the short term. That's all I've got for you for OGN. Not really an emergency update. It could be an emergency update if I was covering a lot of other cryptos, but OGN looks pretty good. Bounce on the 618, heading up to the daily EMA ribbons on the short-term moving average, and bulls are taking back control on the lower time frames. We're looking really good. Keep an eye on 54 cent. I'd like to see that break. That's all I've got for you today. Cowboy out, not financial advice. Peace.